Christopher is. Look how short I am. Our next reader is Amy McDaniel, and awesome. Since we didn't get to do an awful interview before the reading, we are doing one right now. Ready? Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. What are you going to do if someone howls like a wolf during your reading?
I'm going to sit down on the rug.
Don't do that, guys.
Please don't howl while she's reading, because that might be awkward. Awesome. Thank you for awful interviewing.
Oh.
Amy McDaniel is wonderful. You'll find out in a second.
I'm going to read fiction. It's from a longer thing. The longer thing is called What Coincides. The shorter thing doesn't have a name. A waiter named Teddy should be dopey, and/or emotive, and/or female. A waiter named Teddy should wait tables at a big box chain restaurant in Tampa, should routinely save everyone 45 seconds by asking, "Waters for the table?" and should get flustered every time a large group requests individual checks after sharing pitchers of frozen strawberry Cosmos and splitting portions of cheesecake blondie a la mode. A waiter in Tribeca, Manhattan should have a real-sounding name, spelled in a fake-looking way. Saul, or Dom, or Fitz, or Hester, or Allah. He or she should have the kind of blonde hair that money can't buy and the kind of wan, placid, cultish smile that convinces the most skeptical customer from rural Georgia that coffee gelée and zucchini caviar can and indeed should exist on the same cuttlefish share plate. In the spare but lush dining room where Adam worked, among all the tall, hammered steel vases of green and white hydrangeas, between the chocolate-colored walls and the velvet curtains that partially cordoned off each table from the one beside it, a waiter named Teddy should have stuck out. And at a glance, the Teddy in question, Adam's co-worker, would seem to be the obvious answer to the which item does not belong game. He was from Southern California, deeply tan with a kind of musculature that seems inflatable, and indistinct, attractive facial features. He would seem too loud, and yes, too emotive. Tones at a hip but expensive Tribeca restaurant should be hushed. But after that first glance, Teddy transfixed. He wasted no movement. Every breath, every word established a connection with the diners at his table. "Trust me," he seemed to say, "you deserve this. This could change you. You are in control, even as I guide you. You are ready. You are here for a reason." All while being named Teddy, and being a little dopey looking, and having prominent pectorals, and dispensing terminology like the bomb, and explosive, and a total must. Because he meant it. And if you mean it, it doesn't sound so cliche. It sounds unaffected. Teddy was nothing if not unaffected. He loved food. He loved service. So from their first shared shift 2 years before, Adam had studied him. It was like having a secret crush. For the first couple of months that Adam worked there, Teddy would say, "Hey, what's a good word, bro?" in greeting. Unable to come up with a good word to share, Adam usually responded, "Hey." And that would be the end of it. When he'd begun working at Toast Point, Adam thought, "I'm here to learn. I'm not here to make friends, the way people do in the movies when they take their work very seriously." But that isn't really how work works. Not restaurant work anyway. Which technically Adam already knew, having worked in restaurants since as soon as he was legally old enough. It's just that he thought restaurants in New York would be more different than restaurants in Georgia than they would be the same. In Atlanta and Athens, Adam had worked at aging, once gracious, family-owned Southern establishments with aging, still loyal clienteles. In Georgia, buttermilk was listed as a beverage, and green Jell-O as a vegetable. True story. Each table had on it a plastic basket of saltine cracker packets and containers of butter-flavored spread sealed with the trademark gold foil. Once orders had been placed, waiters dropped off more baskets, these lined with wax paper and filled with hot cornbread and biscuits, and more butter-flavored spread. In New York, a dedicated waitstaffer prowled around with artfully arranged trays of artisanal bread, its insides more air than crumb, and softened sea-salted butter from Hudson Valley cows. The lights were airplane bathroom bright in Georgia, dim and soft in New York. The uniforms, the flatware, the china, the customers, everything looked different in New York. Adam would have said, and probably did, "I'm a total food nerd." He never would have said, "I like serving people," or "I like to be part of a team." That wouldn't be cool. He told himself that New York restaurants were different, and he was just there to learn, not to be part of something he loved. But as soon as he moved there and started his job, he felt alone, disconnected from the rest of the staff. It affected his work. He was rigid with customers. He didn't know the wine list as well as he should because he didn't ask. The loneliness came home with him every night, too. His roommates, a couple who bore a striking resemblance to each other, kept mostly to their small room, and after seeming so upbeat, so charmingly pro-Brooklyn when he answered the ad, showed no interest in being his friends. After they'd asked, "You wait tables in Manhattan, so really an actor, right?" And he'd said, "No, just a waiter." The walls were thin. On his nights off, Adam could hear them argue, and more often could hear them say nothing. Lights still on, hours before anybody reasonable would go to sleep. Half of Adam recoiled. How could they stand the shared silence in the close quarters, the sameness? Half of Adam ached with envy. That same half of Adam spent too much time reading old emails from his old girlfriend in Georgia, who was already dating a law student, or so he'd heard. The other half of Adam, the half that recoiled, spent too much time looking at internet porn. But one afternoon after staff meal, Teddy had said, "Hey, what's the good word, Adam?" The use of his name after 8 weeks of being called bro had startled Adam into a more extensive reply. "Hey, getting by." "I hear that. Hey man, you know Ludo?" "Ludo, you know Adam, yeah?" Adam had said not too well, but was drowned out by Ludo, a line cook, who was saying, "Course I do, course! Adam is my man!" He reached his hand up for Adam to high-five, which he did, though Ludo made an extra gesture at the end that Adam did not have time to reciprocate. Ludo laughed, but it was a friendly continental laugh. "You ever need a hookup, man? Ludo's the guy," said Teddy. "Oh, cool, but I don't really..." "Not dope, man. You thought I meant dope." Teddy had laughed, and so had Ludo. "Shit, man, no. I meant kitchen shit. Special requests. Gluten-free, no shellfish on the tasting menu, shit like that." This offer had proved immensely helpful. Thank you.